It's 1998 and you go to Blockbuster with your dad. He lets you pick out one VHS movie, and since you've just got back from seeing Rush Hour in theaters and now you're excited about Jackie Chan, you go to the action genre and you look through, you find some Jackie Chan movies, and in one hand you have Jackie Chan's First Strike and the other Rumble in the Bronx. Tough choice. I was a 90s kid, and there was just something about Jackie Chan films that I always loved. Even though I was watching the redubbed and re-released American versions of these movies, his fighting style and his stunts were always so appealing to me. Bruce Lee films and Jet Li films were oftentimes R-rated, whereas Jackie Chan's films appealed a little bit more towards family audiences or even younger kids. Inspired by Chaplin-era silent films, his on-screen appearance was very exaggerative and expressive. He had an energetic and comedic martial arts style and a superhero-esque positive presence. Honestly, I don't think there was a kid who didn't know who he was. Watching his films made me want to be like him, and he always had a positive message. I think a lot of other kids my age resonated with him and found him to be relatable. He really was an action hero you could look up to. His movies became so popular that millions of kids around the world signed up for karate classes in hopes to get their black belts and then go try to fight like Jackie Chan with their friends. And honestly, I think his relationship with a kid-friendly audience was what really propelled him through the 90s and launched him into movie stardom in the US. I mean, the Jackie Chan craze in the 90s was all time. He had a new comic book series, Spartan X. He had his own arcade game, the Kung Fu Master Jackie Chan. And at the peak of his popularity approaching the year 2000, he had his own cartoon series, Jackie Chan Adventures, which then spawned kids' meal toys from Burger King.
Perform stunts like Jackie Chan. One comes with every Burger King kids meal.
Now, this whole craze started when Jackie Chan had his first big success in the US in 1996. Rumble in the Bronx made $10 million in the US opening weekend. With that kind of success, this prompted the re-release, or American release, of a lot of his classic Chinese films such as Crime Story or Drunken Master 2, and eventually led to the American-produced Rush Hour, which is among one of my favorite action comedy films of all time, and essentially spawned an entire new genre of films where you just team Jackie Chan up with another American sidekick, and you make a Shanghai Noon or The Tuxedo or countless other films. But I digress. Before all that, in that period right after 1996, people started wanting more Jackie Chan films. Well, there was a treasure trove of Jackie Chan classics from his Chinese filmmaking, and those movies started getting picked up by American studios, dubbed, sometimes re-edited and rescored, and put onto movie shelves in video stores, or even sometimes got theatrical releases in the US. The list of films has bangers like Twin Dragons, Who Am I?, Mr. Nice Guy. There was even this fun movement where they would add Jackie Chan's name to the title, like Jackie Chan's First Strike or Jackie Chan's Super Cop, to really sell it to those American audiences who were becoming obsessed. Which reminds me, Super Cop. Honestly, this whole video was kind of an excuse to talk about my favorite Jackie Chan movie, Super Cop, which, rewatching it as an adult, totally re-inspired me and makes me want to make movies like this. Anyway, Super Cop, originally released as Police Story 3 in 1992, was the third installment in the Police Story franchise. However, the Police Story moniker was dropped for the US version when Dimension Films picked up the movie in 1996 and redistributed it into American theaters. This, of course, meant that they dubbed it in American. They dubbed it in English, and actually Michelle Yeoh and Jackie Chan did their own dubbing for this movie. They also rescored with entirely new music. They also recut the movie and changed a few elements of it. Maybe the worst of all of these is the final credits, where they do a rendition of the classic song Kung Fu Fighting, which honestly feels like a bit of short-sighted Orientalism. Thankfully, in 2022, Eureka Films and 88 Films put out a 4K version of Super Cop that's released widely in the US and UK, where we actually get that original Hong Kong theatrical cut. It does include the US cut as well. But if you haven't seen Super Cop, then you should. It is a fast-paced, bombastic action spectacle with consistent humor and fun banter. Michelle Yeoh and Jackie Chan have such a unique and charming chemistry in this. Their comedic chops are just as much on display as their martial arts chops are. The side story with Jackie Chan's girlfriend in the movie is some of the funniest situational comedy that just progressively gets more and more complicated as the film is going on. And it really just has this perfect 90s feel with practical stunt work but epic grand sets. It really takes its title seriously when it says Super Cop, because this is the closest it comes to being Jackie Chan's first super spy movie. A lot like a James Bond movie with its globe-trotting fill and maniacal villain plot. The whole finale sequence with the helicopter and Jackie Chan hanging off of the ladder, it rivals anything in a Tom Cruise Mission Impossible movie. It's perfection. And of course, a staple of Jackie Chan films, it has the fun blooper reel where you see the mishaps and all the stunts gone wrong, which kind of peels back the curtain so you can see how they really are doing these things practically, and it's just really fun and comedic to watch. Whew. Anyway, Super Cop. Watch it. Also, Police Story 1 and 2, those are great films too, totally different but worth watching. And Jackie Chan's First Strike is technically Police Story 4, although it basically has nothing to do with the rest of the Police Story films, or at least I should say the US version doesn't. I haven't actually watched the original Chinese version of that film. But anyway, Jackie Chan in the 90s, he was something special. He brought a huge new interest to martial arts for kids like myself, and taught us how to be respectful and humble. He exemplified humility and integrity on screen, and honestly was a great source of inspiration for me in my childhood. And his movies created new trends, and a wave of successful Jackie Chan films that were produced in America came in the early 2000s, and so on. I called this video Jackie Chan in the 90s because I wanted to transport you and myself into that feeling of what it felt like to be inspired by a Jackie Chan movie, or be excited to go pick out one of his movies off the shelf at the rental store. But as I was doing research for this video, I found that Jackie Chan has some less than great outside relationships with his own children. I was disappointed, to say the least. I mean, he's been an inspiration to so many kids for so long, and it feels disheartening to read some of the recent news that's come out about his personal life. It would be disingenuous for me to say this doesn't impact my view of him, or to have left this out of the video. And I'll let you be the decider of how you feel about him, and if you want to research that and look that up on your own, you should, and you should come up with your own conclusions, if you haven't already, about how you feel about Jackie Chan. Honestly, I was tempted to not even make this video because of it, but I did realize that this isn't so much a tribute to Jackie Chan as a person, as much as an appreciation for the portrayal or the idea of him and the character that he presented to us throughout those 90s and early 2000s films. I mean, like any celebrity, it's ultimately a character and not a person. I know what his movies meant and still do mean to me. And sometimes dreaming of a simpler time, such as walking into a blockbuster and finding the next bit of escapist martial arts action glory, is all you need. Anyway, I know that was a downer note to end the video on, but what is your favorite Jackie Chan movie? Let me know in the comments below. And did you like the video? If you did, please give it a like. A thumbs up is great for me on the channel. And if you're not, you should subscribe, because I'm going to make more stuff like this. So thank you so much for watching, and we'll catch you in the next one.